Good
Thank you.
evening.
Yeah. So I think we're just going to start the class and then with time others will join us. So I'll be handing over now to Mr. Yemi. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Tohirat. Good evening, Khadija.
Good evening.
Ubeda. Good evening, Ubeda, Kelvin, Adenike, and Miriam. It's good to have you all here on the final evening. Yeah, good evening, Miriam. So, it's been an interesting journey in the past 2 days and then this third day, and I trust you all have enjoyed the journey, and I hope this has not been a waste of time on anyone's end.
Not at all. Not at all.
Thank you, Kelvin.
Exactly.
So,
100%.
thank you, Khadija. So, to just round this up, again, like we said, this is just a 3 days course. I think that this is just to open us to the possibilities that lie in what we do. If there's anything, I think many of us should have discovered that what I do is much more than just create by now. We started by laying the foundations, the principles of art, the forms of art, and then that's to help us find our voices in the different kinds of art we do. And then we started fleshing it out, and then we did visual and graphic art yesterday, and then we topped it up with the business of art in the evening. Now today, to just round it up, we're going to talk about the future of art. Again, this is not detailed. There is still a lot more than what we have talked about. For example, what we talked about yesterday, if we were to be in the ideal world, would go, that could go for 2-3 months in the ideal setting if we want to go as detailed as we should. But we'll do as much as we can. Now, the future of art. We've talked about the fact that what we do is a business. And it should be taken as such. And I was going to say something. I don't think I mentioned it yesterday. In business, there's something they call PR. Again, it's called exchange of values. It's an equal exchange of value. I'm giving you my product for maybe your future patronage. I know that, oh, you're a potential customer. I am sure that you're a potential, and I give you a little out of my product so you taste it or you feel it or something, and then that can bring patronage in future. So it's comparative advantages. So you say, okay, I give you sugar of 10 naira, and then in future you can buy sugar of 1,000,000 naira. That makes sense. And then how do we do that in art? Does it mean I should do free art? Again, I am strongly opposed to the idea of free art. I would say do discounted art, or set, again, when you set your business plan, set aside, when you do your business plan, you should also have figures. Set aside a part, just a tiny percent. You can say, okay, if I want to make 1,000,000 naira in this quarter, let me give back. There's something called CSR, corporate social responsibility. Again, please operate with the mindset of a business, not just a person. When people deal with you as if they're dealing with a business, they tend to value what you do more rather than as a person. They feel they can override the person. But when you have systems and a business, they tend to value it more. So corporate social responsibility is saying, okay, I'm giving back to the society. This society is giving me 1,000,000 naira every quarter. So it's not bad if I give back 100,000 naira. That's 10% of what I earn to the society. Or I could say I could even do 5%, 50,000 naira. So that's another way to go about you giving out. So the point is, don't give more than you make, and then give only a little percentage out of what you make to cover. So you could say, okay, I'll do some free work this thing, but I have to have gotten a level of work. Now, the future of art. Some of us might know this French song, or it's not French. I learned it when I was in French class in secondary school. When I was small as a little child, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be rich? Will I be poor? And she said to me, Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future is hard to see. What will be, will be. Que sera, sera. Now, if you look closely, you'll see a question mark in front of the second sera. What lies in the future for us as artists? What is the future for art? And I'll give us again business. Certain businesses, if you look in the tech world, telecommunications, phones, there was a time that if you didn't have a Nokia in Nigeria, you don't have phones. Nokia was leading, and they were strong at the time. They were like what you would call an iPhone today at one time in the Nigerian market. But something happened and broke their monopoly. I think that they didn't see into the future, or they didn't properly plan for the future. There was a time as well for people who are a little bit, maybe in their 30s. There's a kind of pen they call eleganza. Eleganza dominated the stationery market in Nigeria. If you didn't have an eleganza was the standard of pens. Just like the way you would say Indomie is the standard of noodles. Eleganza was the standard of pens at the time. But today, nobody even knows of eleganza. I don't think they even still make it. Eleganza biros are out of the market. Let's try and look at one more. But the point is, what happens to businesses that they close down? What usually happens is they fail in something called forecasting. Forecasting is planning for the possible future. And while I understand that we are very religious people in Nigeria, we're very religious people in Africa, but you see, there are certain things. I am also religious. No, I'm not religious. I believe in God. I'm not religious. But there are certain things that religion will not do for us. Because personally, the God conversation is something I like to try to stay away from in certain circles. But I believe in God. As much as you believe in God, there are certain things that God will not do for you because He has given you like the wherewithal to do it. So for example, it's like saying, God, come and teach me how to drive. It doesn't work. It takes you to take yourself to a driving school or put yourself under the tutelage of somebody to know how to drive. It's like saying, God, I want to go to Canada, and you're not going to make an international passport. How will it work? It means even while you're believing for it to happen, it's just you're not planning for it to happen. That's basically forecasting. You're looking at, okay, what does the future hold, or what does it look like the future holds? It's basically, and I'm telling you that this is what a lot of multinational businesses do. They have experts who are forecasting. They sit down and say, okay, this is the trend so far. This looks like what will happen in the next 3 years. This looks like what will happen in the next 20 years. This looks like what will happen in the next 50 years. And so they position themselves for that change. I think I made mention of this yesterday, but then let's reiterate it for emphasis. In the 80s, there were people. There was no keyboard. There was no computer keyboard at that time. The only thing people had was a typewriter. I don't know how many of us, encounter typewriters. In fact, if they bring a typewriter today, you probably find typewriters in museum now, not in any office. And there were people who were trained to be typewriters. Now, the 80s is just about 40 years ago. Let's assume that somebody was 10 years in the 80s and he was making money from doing typewriting. If the person did not move with the change of time, the person will be a very hungry person today. And that's the power of forecasting, looking at, okay, what are the possible innovations that are waiting in the future? It doesn't look like it's there yet. It's not there. No. But it looks like this might happen. What can I do to position myself for it? That's forecasting. That's the future. Now, it's basically saying that do not live your future as artists. We shouldn't live our future to what will happen. We should go and make our future, if that makes sense to us. You shouldn't leave it to whatever comes. No. Success doesn't come to you. If it doesn't come, you go to it. It's like the common saying, if the mountain will not come to Muhammad should leave and go to the mountain. Something must happen. Okay, Sarah. Now, we have journeyed far. The creative journey has been interesting. I think that we have made laudable advances in art, in our creative processes, in writing, even in creative thinking. Even in the investigative or the security arm of industry, they use artists to get pictures of suspects and all of that. So it's as old as human existence. Not just human existence, the existence of natural things itself. It has evolved with every generation and invention of man. You find that the kind of art that was practiced in the 60s is a little different from what it was practiced in the 70s. And you see, every generation like that, it keeps advancing and keeps advancing and keeps advancing and keeps advancing. First, it started with stone carvings. People were using stones to make marks on rocks. After some time, they discovered that they could get some kind of pigment or color from leaves, and they decided using that to make a little bit more of colorful things on stone markings. And then it kept advancing, and it kept advancing, and it kept advancing. But one thing you would agree with is, or we should all agree with, is the fact that art has found relevance and has acted as a silent voice that guides transition from one age to another. Over the generations, art has never died. There are career fields that have died and will never resurrect, but art has never died, and it will not die. As long as there is existence, we should understand that one. The form of art existing today might not be the same form existing tomorrow, but one thing is certain: art will never die. If it dies, nobody will talk of Mona Lisa today. If it dies, nobody will talk of Salvador Dali today. If he dies, what's the other father of surrealism? Because I love surrealism a lot. Is it Brent? I've forgotten his other name. But Dali is the big person. If art dies, nobody will remember all these guys. If art dies, nobody will remember Pa Aino Onobolu. Do we know Aino Onobolu? Does anyone here know Aino Onobolu? Or has heard the name?
Yes.
Thank you, Kelvin. Do you want to tell us in one or two words who Aino Onobolu is?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, Kelvin, you don't want to go?
I think probably primary school or something. I think it was an artist or so. I can remember from either secondary school, yes. Art
Mm.
learned that he was an artist.
I know Nabulu is
And
recognized as the father of contemporary art.
In Nigeria.
yeah,
Yes,
Exactly.
the father of contemporary art in Nigeria.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Kelvin. So, Paino Nobolu is the father of contemporary art in Nigeria. If art dies, now, if you think about the kinds of art that these people did, they are not as advanced or sophisticated as what we do today. Some of you can practice art better than what these people do or did in their science. Some of us can do what they did in years, we can do in months now because of the evolution of the world. But I need us to understand that if art dies, these people will no longer be revered or be referenced. So the point is that art has found a way to voice itself in every generation. No matter what happens, the world will always have to deal with art. Will always have to deal with words. Will always have to deal with music. Will always have to deal with architecture. It might be advanced, but then we always have to deal with it. We will always have to deal with solving problems, narratives, painting realities, creating, and all of these things. So the journey that we have treaded as artists, then I think personally, I carry, I believe that we owe it to the people who have practiced art before now, who have practiced this since the ancient times. We owe it to them and to our own generation to carry the mantle and carry it properly and carry it with our heads raised high and as soldiers, if you care of the art. But yet, as much as we have advanced, the journey is still far. That's another thing we need to realize. Art will only stop if existence stops. So, as artists, our relevance will never end. Our, our relevance will never end. So, understand that one will always be relevant. If people stop walking on the floor and start walking in the air, we will still find a way to have our voices heard. If people stopped walking with their feet and started walking with their tongues, art will still find a way to have a relevance. If people stop playing politics and then the whole world runs the way it should, art will still find a way to voice itself. Art will always exist. Now today it's NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and if non-fungible tokens, they're a big deal in the art world today. This is just a summary class to essentially launch us out there. They're a big deal. And interestingly, non-fungible tokens came to the limelight about 2-3 years ago. But the first non-fungible token was mined in 2014. See what we talked about, forecasting, planning for the future. Somebody has done what the whole world is saying in 2022. Somebody had done as far back as 2014. NFTs. So if you are not on any NFT or if you are not converting your art to NFTs, please do so today. Again, these are broad topics. They are not what we can cover in a short while. So please, if you're not on NFTs, please get on NFTs. But then, much more important than today is the future. K Sarah. It means what we be will be. The future is what we make it. The future is what we make it. The future is what we make it. I need us to understand that the future is what we make it. So I need us to start as artists, start designing for a future of art. Again, like I told you guys, and I'm sure it will happen. It's because it's going to happen. We are going to, at Artsflame, we are going to turn Nigeria into the World Art Center. We are going to lead the world in art. It's something that will surely happen. And it's not just, this is not just a religious thing. No, it's not religious at all. It's something we're working at and we're planning at. We are going to do that. But for us to do that, we have to be able to anticipate. See, if the world thinks at level 2, we have to think at level 200. And that's what we're saying to artists of Africa and of Nigeria today. Please don't wait for the future to happen. Make the future happen. Please don't wait for the day that somebody will come to your house and buy your art. You go and host an exhibition. Please don't wait for the day somebody will buy paint for you before you can paint what you want to. You go ahead, find something to sacrifice and buy the paint. Please don't wait for all the lines to fall in place before you make what you have in your head. Go out today because the time is now. The future will not happen except we'll make it happen. I need us to understand that one. We need to design a future where art is a voice. We need to design a future where we are no longer walk-bys, where people see artists and respect you, where they actually value what we do. Personally, interestingly, I rarely sell my art. I rarely do. Not because there are not people that want to buy, but because I'm sort of, personally, emotionally attached to some of my art, not all of them anyway. I think many of them actually. It's rare before you see any art I make, and then there's no connection to emotion. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, what inspires us all is different. But we need to make the future, guys. We need to stop waiting for things to happen. I know that many of us here, especially visual artists, many of us have tried to get into Nikkei Art Gallery, Howard Glass Gallery, Henrietta Gallery. Who says you can't make your own gallery? Let me tell us something. Again, planning for the future. The world never anticipated what happened in 2020. COVID. I hope you know that COVID changed realities even till date. Many people were never open to this idea of working from home until COVID left. After COVID, a lot of realities changed. Now, this year, 2023, in Nigeria, a lot of realities have also changed. Have you tried leaving your house to, let's say, you stay at in a place like Agbado Ijayi in Lagos State, and then you have to go to a place like Lekki tomorrow on a Friday. 2 months ago, if you try that thing, you will leave Agbado Ijayi at 6 a.m. and you will get to Lekki at maybe 10:30 or 11 a.m. And I'm not over hyping it. That's the truth for people that stay in Lagos. But today, because of the price of fuel, a lot of people are staying at home. So you don't go out unnecessarily. You don't take your car out unnecessarily. It's a change reality. And these are things we can plan and advance for. There are things we can plan for. Now, you can move from a place like Agbado to Lekki under 1.5 hours now, today. Because a lot of people are not going out with their vehicles anymore. The roads are free. The future won't happen except we make it happen, guys. I think that is the icing on the cake for all of these 3 days. The future will not happen except we make it happen. Stop waiting for a big company to come and contract you to write a proposal to the United Nations. I can supply all your art. Write a proposal. I can solve the problems of Uganda with art. I can solve the problems of Ukraine and Russia with art. Write an intellectual proposal. They will listen. I mean, it might be difficult at first, but one day somebody will say something. Oh yeah, this guy wrote one proposal and it looks like a very intellectual thing. Let's invite him. Guys, we need to stop playing just the creative part. Again, that's why we have to lay the foundation of businesses yesterday. Do you think Dangote, now many people say Dangote expanded, and I mean, I'm saying Dangote because Dangote is like the common example we know in Nigeria. But then you can think of Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs. These are guys who have defined the future. The future that you are waiting for. Somebody is working at the future. Elon Musk is planning to build in Mars, in outer space now. That's the future. These guys are not waiting for the future to happen. They are making the future happen. Guys, we need to sit down and make the future happen. Some of us have visions. And again, I'm speaking the language of artists, the language of creatives. You have very wonderful ideas. Stop waiting for something to happen. Stop waiting for all the money to come. Stop waiting for somebody to come and sponsor you. Because it won't happen. That's a fallacy. It's a mirage. The closer you get to it, the farther it looks. If you get close, it looks far. If you get close, it looks far. It looks like you need $1 million to fund your dreams. You get 700,000 naira. It looks like you need 10 million naira. You get 7 million. It looks like you need 20 million. And it keeps getting farther and farther and farther like that. Stop waiting for the future to happen, guys. Stop waiting for the future to happen. Call this motivation. If artists are not motivated, who will be motivated? Because we are people that we are in depth in our thought process. Again, that's another topic entirely. The thought, the imaginative power of an artist. You can create anything. The future is what you make it. Call it motivation, no problem. The future is what we make it. Que sera, sera. The future is what I make it. And again, we've been saying this thing at Artsflame that will turn Nigeria into the World Art Center. And it takes a collaborative effort. It takes artists who know the standard of setting art. Do you understand? It takes people. If we tell you about some of the plans we have at Artsflame, you'll be wowed. But you see, we can't do this thing on our own. How many artists we have at Artsflame? We can't do it on our own. It takes you and I. It takes all of us to come together. It takes you to do an art that I can take to the United Nations and say, oh, I have some artists, yeah. And they will beat all your standards of art. And I don't need to be too proud about it, because if I show them just pictures, they'll be We need to make the future happen, guys. We need to start thinking of innovations in art. You need to go to your niche of art and say, okay, what have they done in the past 10 years? What have they done in the past 20 years? What can I do to change the narrative forever? Nelson Mandela, somebody that inspires me a lot. I will never forget that man. Roliha, that's his third name. He has is it Zosa? There's this title they call him. I read his book, The Long Walk to Freedom. South Africa will never forget that man. Africa as an entirety will never forget Nelson Mandela. Because these are people who, you see, they saw the present, they saw what was happening right now, and they saw that there could be a better future, and they worked towards it. It suffered for it, so it's not easy to spend 27 years of your life in prison. Imagine If you have 27 years to each of our ages now, you find that the productive time of your life is gone. Do you understand? He spent 27 years of his adult life in prison fighting to create the future. Go and read about Michael Faraday. Read about all the inventors of the great times. And we are going into a time where artists define what people invent. Guys, we need to stop just making and recreating. No. We need to start defining standards. We need to start defining societal standards, ethical standards, governmental standards. Think about people like Fela Anikulapo. The world, Nigeria will never forget him. Some Western nations will never forget him because it was a pain in their ass. Because these people, they saw what was going on and they said, we will stand and we will solve this problem. Fela has inspired a lot of artists today. Create the future, guys. Please create the future. We need to, again, if you look at the tone of this conversation, NFT is happening right now, but think beyond now. Because I can as well tell you, I can always tell you that what is happening now. Let me give you a simple scenario. I grew up in one of the western states in Nigeria. For personal reasons, I'll keep it myself, except for people that know. Now, at the place where I grew up personally, if you have a house, at the time, if you had a house, bubbling, fine. All the rich people, there was a certain style of building at that time. And it looked like if you build that way, that's the way you're a rich man or rich woman. But go back to those houses today, they are obsolete. Again, because they didn't plan for the future. Anyone that is in line with the future will. What are the challenges Nigeria is facing right now? Leave those ones. What are the possible things that we can face in future? Because that's where we are creating towards. I start creating the solution from now. I put Noah's Ark. Again, if you don't read the Bible, take it as a book, like a novel. Noah's Ark is an interesting story because, again, it's anticipating a possible problem. Some people say that at the time of Noah's Ark, I don't know, I'm not sure, that Noah was a man, he was just a man. And then, according to the Bible, they said God told him that he was going to. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. We can hear you.
According to the Bible, God told Noah that it was going to rain. And according to some people, they said it had never rained on earth or water had never come from the sky. So it made no sense to the whole world what Noah was seeing. And that's the mind of an artist. You are seeing something, but the whole world is not seeing. They don't understand what you are thinking. And you share with some people, the closest people with you, they don't understand. And some of us, you know the plight you faced. Some parents will tell you don't have a future doing art, doing photography, doing music, they'll tell you don't have a future. Some of our parents, and it's not like they don't love us, it's just they don't see what you see, that's all. And because they see from a different perspective, it makes it look like you're the bad person. And then Noah started building an ark that could withstand or withhold what he saw. Again, think of it. You become relevant in the future when you create solutions for the future, not today. Oh, sorry, this should not be elements of it. It's also create the future. Think about water galleries. Please give me a moment. Think about water galleries. It's not. I don't think anyone has created a water gallery today. A gallery inside water. Someone brought the idea of a gallery, a physical gallery. We can create galleries within water bodies. I don't think that idea has been explored before. Think about galleries in the space, in the air, where art is flying around about you. You come for an exhibition and then it's not just hanging on the wall. Art is flowing like balloons all around you. Think about it. We need to get creative, guys. The future doesn't belong to those that exist now. And those are just ideas off of the top of the presenter's head. Me. They are just ideas they are not properly thought out as well at all. You can sit and create something amazing that the world will have no choice but to come to you. Think about wildlife exhibition. Think about exhibiting. Oh my God. Just create. Think it and then create it. And then we can do history preservation. Think about preserving the history, like our Artsflame exhibition. We usually do an exhibition every year called Ancients, preserving history. There are some, but think and create the future. Anticipate what could happen in future. So, for example, our Ancients exhibition, just think it and create it, guys. Thank you. Thank you. A lot has gone on in the chat box, a lot. Let me just read some of the like True Talk. Mama Nike, our dream home. Yeah, Nike Art Gallery. Somebody said, Khadija, please. The future starts now. I like that, Olukunle. Someone said, I'm a super motivational speaker. Thank you. Said Elon Musk is living your dream, then create another dream or create your own dream. Anu says, you're talking to me. Thank you. The future is what you make it. Oh, I'm inspired. I like the fact that you guys are inspired. Thank you. Anything is possible. Yes. I love that. Thank you, guys. Let's get feedback. Let's get feedback for maybe 3 minutes and then we can go into our presentations, group presentations. I hope we're gingered and motivated already. So feedback about the whole 3 days, today, and all of that. Anyone?
Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Kelvin.
Yeah. Oh man, in fact, this is so great, and I appreciate the fact that it's hitting us where we actually need it, where places we really need to work and improve on. Because particularly, let me even speak about today. I think I was also thinking the same thing too. We as Nigerian artists will be revolving around the same thing, the same idea, the same style of art, the same thing completely. And yeah, telling us that the future is ours to create. The future is ours. We really need to create it. We need to build it. It's quite true. And I want to throw more light about this particular thing you said from an exhibition I stumbled upon at Eco Hotel. Yes. I don't know if any of us know Pronore. Pronore, she's a French artist. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Kelvin. I don't know her anyway.
All right. She's a French artist. She came down to Nigeria. She went to University of Ibadan and she employed like over, I think over 50 something students from that school, and she came to do a documentary and art. The documentary, and inside the documentary, she did art, sculptures. This woman sculpted a terracotta heads inside each of the Chibok girls, that is the real Chibok girls that we know about. She went and get picture of each of them from the place, like the Chibok community, and she sculpted each of their head into the terracotta head. Now we could see how mind blowing that is. We were going to exhibition normally. We never knew it was going to be something out of the box. For me, when I came back from that exhibition, I was like, God, art art is art can really be different. Like it can be more than just hanging artworks on the wall. The woman took me off balance. In fact, you will love to watch the documentary. You will still love to see the art, and those arts will be kept in a museum. And remember, Chibok is a story. Chibok girls is a story that we can never forget. So I love the aspect you spoke about. We changing the narrative, making this Nigeria for sure. In fact, we can really make this place as a home for arts generally. So I really love the fact that you're speaking about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelvin. Does anyone else want to go? Anyone? Okay, so let's have one more. Let's have one more person. Okay. That's strange. Oh. Ears are usually more ginger than this. Okay, I'll start calling names now. In no particular order. There is, okay, a guy has spoken, so let's have a lady. There is Adenike, there's Foini, there is Khadija, there's Miriam. I don't know if Nova is a lady. There is Anu with Tony Saba. Guys, any one of you, please.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Khadija.
So my place is a bit noisy. That's why I don't want to say anything. So these 3 days has been really, really amazing. Like it blew my mind, to be honest. When we started having the training by 7 a.m., I'm like, what is it that they want to like that 7 a.m.? Why? Okay, let's see, let's see. And then I started listening, like what? And then I started taking notes. It's just so inspiring, and it's amazing. Like you guys, all of you are just wonderful, to be honest. And I hope there's a way for us to like get more of this, like more details, because I feel you still have other details that you're keeping from us. I just hope there'll be more of this.
Thank you, Khadija. Okay, so amazing feedback. So that said, about more, Toira to speak more about that tonight. I believe that we should be able to get the video. Although I'm not sure the recording picked the breakout sessions anyway, but then I believe Toira will be able to speak more and then communicate with us about that. And about continuity, Toira will also get back to us on that one. Now, our project, which is like the top of the night. So. Let's do, okay, I don't think there's a need to have a breakout session this evening, so let's have group one.
This is so quick. Wow.
What did you expect?
Wow, I was expecting at least we'll drink water and keep the cup first, but it's fine.
Do you guys want to go on? No, let's just go on.
No, it's cool. It's good. All right. Group 1, are we ready?
We are ready.
Kind of.
Ready.
Okay. Do I have Khadija? I have. Are we all complete, please?
You have us. Kind of. Have us.
All right.
Yeah.
The topic was for us to choose a form of art to tackle the issue of suicide in Nigeria, and we actually chose graffiti as the form of art that we use to pass or convey these messages. Hello, are we together, please?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go on.
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. Now, graffiti is a form of art that is displayed, like done on the street, on walls, on different surfaces, in order to pass messages and also to beautify environments and all of that. Now, first of all, one of the things we need to understand or like about graffiti is the fact that it immediately transforms a particular spot that is losing its form already into a beautiful one. Sometimes a wall covered with spirojara and all of that, graffiti immediately transforms it into a beautiful place. So the philosophy or the metaphysical expression about that idea is that graffiti transform even the human heart, those that are beginning to die down in the case of depression and all of that, brings light into their world, brings happiness, make them smile again. Now, we employ the government of Nigeria to actually give us the opportunity to explore more on the aspect of graffiti, on the tunnels in Nigeria, bridges, uh, roundabouts, billboards, and all of that, because it could actually make Nigeria a very beautiful place. This is a way of introducing why we chose graffiti as the style of art to tackle this problem. And because also the colors used for graffiti are bright, they look beautiful, they look encouraging, they makes one who is sad before becomes happy. Now, we should know that the case of suicide doesn't just happen. It starts with so many problems arising in the mind, and gradually it leads to depression. From depression, a lot of things is involved when you are depressed, anger, rage, and all of that. And then eventually you feel like the world is no longer for you again, it's no longer comfortable for you again. You want to live in a dark part of the world, and after some time you don't even feel like being in the world completely, and then you seem to want to take your life. Now, so when we create a world beautiful and colorful enough, those who are losing that kind of hope would actually give it up, will see that the world is actually beautiful, to leave it behind and then think of committing suicide and all of that. So on this note, I would give the room to some other of my members to speak on this still. Thank you.
Okay, this is Olufemi Nolua.
Yeah, please go on, Oluwafemi. Are you also in group 1?
No, I'm not in group 1. I'm in group 5.
Okay. Do you have a question for group 1?
Not really. Let's be going on. So I might ask question later.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Kelvin, who are you handing over to?
One thing that is not clear is that during the chatting on WhatsApp, there's nobody to respond to group 5's this thing. So I was wondering if maybe these ones are not online or what.
Let's come to group 5 when it's group 5's turn, Oluwafemi. Let's just finish with group 1 first. Do you understand?
Okay.
Keep
No
one
problem. No problem.
Zubaida. Is
Hello.
Zubaida
I
there?
thought Mariam. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I think it's Mariam, yeah, that is supposed to go
It's
next.
Mariam that's supposed to talk. Yes.
Yeah. So I should share the collage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow,
How
you
do
guys
you
have a
choose
collage.
the
I'm blown off.
Can someone else share it? Because
Is Kevin there? Can someone help us? I'm using a different phone. Okay.
I don't know. Can someone else share it, please, Sammy? Because I'm unable to. I'm trying to.
I think someone is trying to share. Okay, yes.
Have we seen it?
Can you see it?
No. Okay, almost. Yes. Yes.
Almost. Yes. So, Abby? Yes.
Yes, that's it.
So, Khadija and I decided to write a poem about some of those collages. So, I chose that first image of Life is Beautiful. So, I wrote a poem about it, and it is a graffiti and how it relates to suicide. And here is the poem. Life is beautiful. There are butterflies in my belly, the scream, the thrill, the voice lullabies. The chant, dark dirge, chants calabashed from a place of helplessness and a leap of faith. So I butterfly, and my colors align with the darker shades of life. I spew grace, and peace wraps me in a long, warm embrace. So that's the poem. Thank you for listening.
Wow.
Well done.
Wow.
More.
Yes.
Let's get more.
That's me.
If we still have more,
Yeah.
Yes,
Kuku
we
kill us.
do.
Let's Kukuma die. I
Someone
don't
else.
understand. This is amazing. Who's going next?
Khadija.
No, that's
No, it's Zubaida.
Okay.
okay. So, Khadija, well done. So, like for the next two images, love is all we need and never give up. We're not really particular about anything except the colors. Like you said, for graffiti, one of the major part of graffiti, like one of the major things that make graffiti like really, really striking is the colors. So now we know that colors it incites emotions. Like there are different colors for different emotions. We have blue, which is more of a soothing colors. We have yellow, which is more of the warm color that shows happiness and everything. So despite the combination of colors here that is showing the different types of emotions, you see that there's still a form of hope that is telling you that no matter what you're going through, no matter the emotions in red, in purple, in blue, in green, that never give up, and love is all we need. Thank you very much.
Amazing, Khadija. Amazing. I assume that you guys have like a final question for the last two. Oh, rather, sorry, Ubeida. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, Khadija, take the floor.
It's the new person that's supposed to do the next one. I don't know.
I don't know
Is
if
she
she's
still
here.
going?
No, Khadija, go on, please.
Okay. So for this one, Ubaida has already explained the colors. So this our graffiti is going to be very colorful, like she said, and part of what we are going to include is the last two, by which is what are these wings for if you refuse to fly. We're going to include that, and it's meant to inspire the person to, you know, to do what they are supposed to do, not give up. And the next one where we are the creators of our own happiness. So we're also going to include that. Then we also have a short quote, like a short poem. So it's going to be this: look to the east at the breaking of dawn. Wait for the rising of the ancient sun. Look at how the mesmerizing sun flickers to give life to the horizon, getting brighter per second. Now, that is what new beginnings look like. Dim at first, but shine it will. So give chance to hope to bloom in your heart. That's also going to be part of what we are going to incorporate in our graffiti.
All
Over
right.
to Kelvin to round it up.
Yeah. Thank you very much for all you have said. To round our presentation up, we have images that we tend to work on, and one of it is on our graffiti. You will see images like somebody's head opened, and then the other person standing in front of it trying to fix something inside the head. Inside the head of the person that is open, we are seeing wires instead of brain. And then the person is trying to use soldering iron and other equipment to fix something inside of it. The message is that we should always know that some persons cannot see their problems themselves. So we need to try to get close to others and try to solve their problems for them. In turn, we are saving them a lot of things. Another image is a woman carrying a skeletal system on her leg, trying to feed the skeletal system with a feeding bottle, which implies that a lot of us tend not to visit those in needs and in problem to meet their needs when they are alive, and we want to give them heaven and earth when they are already dead, which are wrong. Depression is real, suicide is real, and all of this comes as a result of we not lending a helping hand to each other. So our graffiti are passing all of these messages to change the world and perception about depression and leading to suicide. Thank you very much.
Amazing balls. This is amazing. If you ask, okay, Samuel is not here, Juwon is not here, but Toyera also knows. It takes a lot to impress me. This impressed me.
Wow.
This really impressed
Wow.
me. This is amazing.
We need great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, I can testify to that.
All thanks to me. Please, people should still keep my 1,000. Thank you.
Kevin, please, you're the one owing us money.
600, I remember.
600.
It's good to know that you guys are aside, the thought process behind all this. In fact, I didn't even think about the wire inside the person's head and then the woman carrying the skeleton. It's see how much you can do when you actually sit down, and put some thought into what you do. And who knew that graffiti could inspire? Now, if you go and paint this on 3rd Mainland, because that's where the people that want to commit suicide in Lagos usually go.
Yes!
And you use the old of 3rd Mainland Bridge. Everywhere you are seeing, there is hope. Where is that your thing again? What are these wings for if they are not to fly? What everywhere, all the whole of Third Mainland Bridge, put on Kata Bridge, put everywhere in Lagos. That everywhere in Lagos they're just saying, oh, that makes sense. This is amazing. Thank you guys. Thank you, Group 1. Thank you, Kelvin. Thank you, Khadija. Thank you, Ubaid. I'm so sorry I mixed your name up. Thank you. Who else was in Group 1?
You're welcome.
Miriam. Yes. So Group 2, are you guys set?
Yes, I think we are.
Yeah, waffle. All right.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Oluwadare, are you here? Quick roll call. Is Joseph here? Okay. Is Chris here? Okay. It seems I'm going to do this by myself. Okay. I think some of my group members were having challenges with data connection. So if they join, they will join the presentation. If they don't, I'll do it for them. I hope I can go ahead.
Yes, please.
Okay, okay. Just give me a moment. So my team, we looked at suicide from the point of a child who was traumatized, and this trauma from the family not being seen, and then this child grows up feeling lonely, feeling unheard, feeling worthless, and as he grows up, he decides to find meaning in social media, since the closest people to him, his family, are not seeing him. He wants to see if there are other people on social media who can give meaning to his life. But when he gets on social media, he's even overwhelmed, and that loneliness continues. And finally, he drifts towards suicide, thinking that maybe if he is as empty as a shadow, life would be different and life would be well. So it's kind of tragic, the whole thing. So we arranged it in this way. We wrote a poem that explains it, and then the visual artist made some paintings that will go along with the poem. So I'm going to read the poem, and I'll share the paintings as I read. So I might be going here and there trying to get the paintings. You'll just excuse that. Okay, our work is titled The Lonely Leaves. It's titled The Lonely Leaves. Where does the lonely live? Inside the ghettos of hope or the mansion of maggots? My head is spinning again. Words are rushing to war with my peace of mind. The happy sounds I hear are cracking at the edges. They are tearing the drums of my ears. My fingers are shaking. They are looking for a hand to hold, a heart to hug, but the faces I see do not see that I am out of breath, that my eyes are turning upwards, that my body is going cold. Give me a moment, trying to get to the pictures. Can anyone see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Hello? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, this is the first time I'm sharing my screen, so I'm trying to figure out how it works. What can you see on the screen, please?
a head and then somebody inside the head, and it looks like there's a neck,
Okay.
a moves around the
Okay.
neck.
Okay. Is that still showing?
No, it looks like your
Seeing it
WhatsApp
right here.
now.
Okay, I need to read the whole poem. Okay, I'm just going to do the poem and I'm going to share the pictures later. My colleagues would have been doing that while I was reading the poem, but so I'm going to go again and read the entire poem, then I'll share the pictures and explain them. Okay, so I go again. The piece is titled The Lonely Lives. Where does the lonely live? Inside the ghettos of hope or the mansion of maggots? My head is spinning again. Words are rushing to war with my peace of mind. The happy sounds I hear are cracking at the edges. They are tearing the drums of my ears. My fingers are shaking. They are looking for a hand to hold, a heart to hug. But the faces I see do not see that I am out of breath, that my eyes are turning upwards, that my body is going cold. I run to Facebook to see if I could find faces different from those that took my childhood, but the traces of trauma are brought back to me as people you may know. I become a trauma trend on Twitter, an example of those who are bitter, and Instagram led me like a lamb to the slaughter, showed me stories that took away my laughter. I thought I could thread the memories away, but every hour a notification pops up on WhatsApp. These monsters are mine. Sometimes I fall in love with the shadows. They seem so free, lifeless and free, without eyes to see the beauty of the world become beasts, without heart to feel the warmth of isolation burn you to bones. Perhaps in a world where nobody can hold you, they can't hurt you, you are, after all, a shadow, lifeless and free. So in this picture, we have the inner child inside of the grown man whose childhood trauma has led him to find relief on social media, on Facebook. And since he's not able to find what he's going there to get, these are even becoming a strain on his neck. The torture from Facebook, Facebook feeds you with things that look like you. So if you search for a particular thing, they just keep giving you those same things to look at, and it can be very overwhelming. So in this first picture, social media is even doing so much harm to him. And then in this other picture, this is the point where it all goes cold, where it all goes dark. This is the point where he cannot take it anymore, and suicide is the answer. He, after all, wants to become a shadow. Shadows are painless, shadows are lifeless, shadows are free. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
That was
Wow.
great.
Wow. Man, so when you get to a point, there are certain things you want to say to people, and then you just can't find the words to say them to express what you want to say. This is just wow. Thought process, and then most importantly, I think that the fact that you could connect, the poem actually does connect. The lines connect with the frustration of that boy, and then I think it speaks a lot to the present generation, teenage, early 20 guys, and this is amazing. This is amazing. And then the fact that you had the courage to present it all by yourself, this is amazing, John. Amazing.
Thank you.
Who's screaming? Okay, so group 3. Who's going for group 3? Okay. Is group 3 not here? Nova, Stanley, Miracle, Ayomide, and Lua Belumi, Tohibat. It doesn't look like any of you guys are here. Okay, group 4. David, Joe. Joe is okay. Joe, yeah, Joe. Oluwaseyi, Oshokoya, Esther Praise, Ayeke, Timothy Popola. Okay. Okay, she is here, but she's on hold, or he or she, I don't know. Oshokoya Shei, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. You're representing what group?
Like, this is my first class, actually.
This is your first class? Uh-oh. So
yes.
You didn't have any meeting with any group member?
No, at all.
All right, that's fine. Group 5, Daniel Uweye, Sarah Mohammed, Adebayo, Odrai, Adenike. I think Adenike is here. Adenike, are you going for group 5?
I'm not going for group 5, sir.
Okay, did you guys meet?
I think the problem is with not me. Like, nobody. There's a guy that is trying to put us together to come up with something and no response. That's the fact. Nobody responds to his chat. And
did you respond to his chat?
Yes, I think I respond to it.
You guys will have done something together.
Yeah, so he dropped the voice chat this evening, even to at least maybe we can come up with something. So nobody responds to him, and this is really bad. So I think all of us, we are feeling bad right now. Like, seeing the other group presenting something and it's amazing. I know we are feeling good now.
No, they say we should monetize everything. So this information we have given them, let them pay us. Yes.
Yeah.
Our art is not for free.
Yeah. You need to NFT them.
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay, that's fine. Group 5, no presentation. Group 6, Dada Tokbe, Olalekan, Adedeji, Henry, Ipeme, Faith, Zubi, Lawal, Tohiba, Toluwapelumi, then Ismail. I'm not sure any of Group 6 members are here. I know that most of the Group 6 members were not present anyway in the 3 days. So Group 1 and 2, this was amazing. Thank you, guys. I think you will find also that you can do much more when you collaborate. You will go 1,000 miles when you go alone, but you go 1,000,000 miles when you go with a group, a supportive group anyway. I think you'll find as much as that. And I think that in these 3 days, you would have discovered more of yourself in this time. Like the example I always give with driving, when you want to learn to drive, nothing really changes physically. It's just that it's not like they added the knowledge to drive, they installed it on your brain. No, what you needed to drive was within you. It just took somebody to help you bring it out. In the same way, what you need to thrive in your art is within you. You have all it takes. You have all you need. It just takes a class like this, or a session, knowledge, something to bring it out, and then you're ready to fly. I'm handing over to Tohirat, our headmaster. Hi, Toyura. Are
Good
you there?
evening. Good evening. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay, nice. So tonight has been very exciting. Group one came with the vibe, they were ready for everybody, everything. Then group two too was nice, and all of that, Sha. I'm happy everybody was able to, think about the topic and try to do something one or two ways. And I think was it group three? I think group five. I'm happy that people are feeling guilty. Hey, next time you put to do something. But I understand the way you're unable to group with others. And that time, or maybe if something like this happen again, you and the person you find, you can just do something together. And even if you can't do it together, you can do it alone. When it's time to present, funny enough, the other person too might have done something, and then both of you just present, and to just connect in a way. So basically, not just leaving it alone. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I think that's basically it. I hope you guys have gained a lot from these classes. I know some people tonight is their first class, but we'll try to drop the recording so that you guys can go through it and you can see how beautiful it has been. Yeah. So so something I wanted to say is actually after Mr. Yemi finished his class, it is very short, not to take too much of your time. It's like an inspirational story. Yeah, so it's actually a documentary. I think the name is Lixo Extraordinario or something like that. It's not like English. I don't know if anyone has heard about it. So it's about an artist. So he does art. He's a very big person. I don't know his name. Everything is in Spanish or something. Yeah. So he decided to look at a different view for art. He wanted something different. He wanted to inspire people. So he decided to tell his wife that okay, he's going to travel to the village. He's going out sketch where they give birth to him, and he's going to bring them out. He's going to make something beautiful from there, and it might be gone as long as possible. But then that's his decision. Then they thought about it. She knows the person that she married, and she accepted. So he traveled to the village. I think he stayed there for about a year or two. Basically, what they do in that village is to take dirt, like all these PSP and co, when they come and pack dirty in our house. So where they dump that dirty, don't let me mention town, but people like to pass the Ojota. Beware. Whenever you are passing there, you will see that smell. You will see that okay, that's where they dump dirt and all of that. So somewhere like that, yeah, that's where he went to. So he saw the people. He saw the people that dumped the dirt. He saw their way of living. That was basically their life. So what they do is when the trucks bring the dirty, they will now recycle it. They will take plastics, they will take TVs, they will take different things. Sometimes they find some products that are still very good, brand new stuff that people just throw in the dustbin, the Americans now. So basically, their life is to play with dirty. They stink, they smell, when I was watching it, I was just feeling like, wow, and I'm thinking that we are bad in Africa. Like, this one is another level, and it's just who they are. And they now have like a society that they do donations, they try to create books, libraries, for students. They have a town chairman, they're just doing their thing in their own way, and that's their life. So he started interviewing some of them, and they were like, okay, there was a woman that said, well, she lost her husband and she has two children and she has to take care of them. So she does not care if she's smelling. As far as her children will eat, that's what is important to her. There was another woman that cooks. She said she does not need to be here, but just seeing people, the way they are working, the way they are hustling for their life, it inspires her to stay here and cook for them. They still eat in that dump, basically. So basically, it was a very sweet and inspirational. In fact, I almost cried when I was watching it. Like, it's something that is very touching. So what he now did was that he created a
a warehouse. Then they will take the dirt, the things that they are recycling, spoons, biros, papers, electronics, whatever. They will now arrange it on the floor and use it to create an image. So he snapped some of the people he interviewed, he snapped some women, he snapped different people like that. Then he will create an artwork with the the things that they are recycling. He will use it to create like an artwork. Then he took the pictures. He wrote a little documentary, and he was part of them basically, staying there for like a year. I think it was a year or two. So he did everything, bring them together. Just to cut the whole story short, then he took the paintings, the drawings to the city, and he exhibited it, and it was so beautiful. What they did was what's this English? You know, when bidding, when you are bidding for something. So he kept the drawings, the paintings on a bid. So what he now did was that the starting price was something like 50,000 naira. So there will be a painting, and he will come, he will say, this painting, the starting price is 50,000 naira. How much do you want to pay for it? You know, something like that. And then people were bidding 100,000. People were bidding 200,000. And he said he would give the people he snapped, he would give them the paintings, the money rather. He would give them the money. So they were so shocked that this their dirty and their little life can be something that is worth 10,000, and that's not all the paintings. That's just one. So the first guy he took his own painting, they sold it for like $100,000 or something. Then the second one was like $50,000. You know, they were making money that if it entered at their town, everywhere is going to shake. You know, it was crazy and it was so beautiful. The fact that he left his space, he came to them and he helped them to create something beautiful. It's not just about okay, fine, art is drawing, putting in your house, pleasing to the eyes. It goes far to even touch people's lives. And this one is not just people, it's not just a person. It touched the whole community. He dedicated a whole year of his life to go there, study them, work with them, and create something beautiful. And it was so nice. Fine, I think I understand the fact that he is from that country and all of that, but then he didn't have to if he didn't want to. Yeah. So basically that's the story, and the idea behind the story, or the reason why I'm telling you guys this, is just for you to know how far you can go with art. There are documentaries, there are series, there are movies. There is Netflix that is just art they talk about. There is this abstract series documentary that I watched. It was so beautiful. There is a lot of idea. You might be thinking that, okay, this class is over, then everything is over. It's not over. It just started. There is a lot of idea. There are lots of things you can do. In fact, these people can help you too. You might be feeling like, okay, this man in my story is a big person. He has it all and blah, blah, blah. And so you are not yet big. You are big. Just going to meet people, doing something for them. You can pitch that to a bigger organization, a bigger government. Okay, we are helping others. We created this artwork from this. What do you think? It could be Access Bank. Who has noticed GT Bank, Access Bank? They love art so much. There is none of their bank that you go to that you will not see something exceptional there. These are people, these are organizations that you can pitch ideas to, that you can do whatever with, and it will be so beautiful, you know. So I'm sure some people are already ready to go. They're like, hey, what's the yard saying like this? So I'm just going to end it here. So that's my story, and that's what I wanted to add. I would like to show you guys some of the pictures, you know, the artwork, the dirt and all of that is sold. I think I'll send it to the group now. Yeah. So basically, I want to say thank you again to everyone, and don't let us be strangers. Let us be part of this family, you know. This is something new. This is something beautiful. Artsflame will still be holding more exhibitions, more classes, more knowledge for you to learn from. So, with that being said, I'm going to move back to my chairman. in case if you or before then, is there anybody that like to say anything? Maybe you want to add one or two things or something like that. Yeah.
Please, could you send the name of the documentary to the WhatsApp group chat so that those of us who are interested in watching it could watch it too?
All
Okay,
right.
sure.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I think for me, the greatest lesson I learned this evening, it's not even our presentation anymore and all of that. I think my biggest lesson I learned is that when we artists, I think we have always had this problem when we are supposed to come together to do a thing. Everybody acts like the next person is not important because we are all creatives. We've had a lot of that experience. Thank God this happened for Group 5, and it's a lesson to all of us. Please, the exhibition I had last time, I met some artists, and this was also the problem. Please and please, you are not bigger than your art. Your art goes where you are not even going. Some of your artworks can be hung in Paris and all of that. You can remain in Nigeria yet till you die. So you are not bigger than your art. Whenever we are supposed to meet and share ideas and then relate, please, let's be free. Let's be free. Socialization is very important. In Nigeria, we were living like that until we begin to see all this social media idea of I am okay, I'm all by myself. It's so please, whenever you're trying to be all by yourself, don't go too extreme and then don't relate with people because you feel you can do it all alone. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I understand what you said, and I feel like that's very important actually. So thank you for adding that. Is there anyone else that would like to say anything? So since we are done and there are no more questions, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Yemi to do the final conclusions before we say goodbye. Thank you once again.
Thank you all. First of all, sorry to keep us this long. Please, I beg you all, can we all just celebrate Tohira? She's been amazing, and I'm telling you, amazing. She's been amazing, honestly.
I'm blushing.
She's been coordinating back and forth. So on day one, Tohira, I think me and Tohira were still talking on WhatsApp till around, I think, 11 p.m. And it was just a lot of coordination, talking to the people doing marketing, designs, and all of that. She's just been amazing. Then, second of all, please follow us on Instagram. Please do that. We have, I think, about 3 pages now. We'll send the pages to Instagram, to the group. Please just follow. Then, this is much more than just a 3 days thing. So, the further plans we'll send to the group would, keep up with you guys every once in a while, see how you guys are doing, and then see what's the update.
Awesome.
Thank you, Khadija. Now, the next thing is where some people are usually a little bit drawn back, but then it's what we must do. So, for these 3 days, now we have a 3 days course, a 7 days course, and 1 month, and then 3 months in the pipeline. But for this 3 days course, if anyone here needs a certification, please message Tohira. It's paid for.
Okay.
It's not free. But then, send her a message if you need a certification. I think it would help, especially for people who want to go professionally, So I've also found that some artists don't know how to put together an artist portfolio, and those are part of the things that add to your portfolio. So just do Toyira a message. Again, it's not free, but do a message if you need a certification. What else? We'll keep up on WhatsApp. That's about it. Thank you guys for trusting us with your time and your creative prowesses, and then thank you for trusting us with your open-mindedness, and thank you for being African creatives, because again, the future is for us. And I believe strongly that we have gone to the Western world long enough. It's time for them to come here to Africa. And that's what we're doing here. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. It was
Please,
a great
group one,
3 days
let's
with you
meet
guys.
at WhatsApp call for a few minutes.
You guys should enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.